Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are bringing back the pierced nails. This was kind of a really last minute thing. Whenever I'm doing my own nails, I have no idea what I'm doing. So I figured I would just kind of wing it, freestyle the set. And what better way to bring in the new year with some random crazy nail art. We're gonna be throwing in some nude, of course, because that's my staple. Some black, which I'm not really comfortable putting on myself, but I'm doing it for the set. We're throwing in some gold as well. And then of course we are piercing my ring finger. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope you guys learn a ton. Now let's get right into it. Okay, right into today's video, I'm starting off by prepping my hand. As you can see, I'm using my non-dominant hand. Luckily, I have gotten pretty used to using it, but you always want to make sure you are extra careful when using your non-dominant hand. So I'm starting off with my cuticle area and then just gently buffing off the rest of the shine. To do so, I'm using my Kiara Sky Rechargeable e-file. I have her at a speed of 4,000 RPMs and I am using my mandrel bit with the sanding band from Profile's Backstage. I'm going very carefully around the cuticle area, and when working with my non-dominant hand, I like to place my right hand onto something to stabilize it. It just helps me get the work and job done without hurting myself. So again, around the cuticle area, and then we're going to go on top of the entire surface of the nail to buff off that shine very gently. Now going in with my needle bit, I'm very quickly going around that cuticle area. This is just gonna help remove all that excess dead skin that I may have missed from my mandrel bit. Definitely recommend this. It is such a super simple step to implement into your prep, which is gonna go a long ways. I'm taking my cuticle ball bit and just going over top of my cuticle area. This is just gonna help buff off that cuticle without having to nip or trim anything off. Now for today's video, I'm actually using the C-Curve square tips from Profile's Backstage. They recently launched these, so I was super excited to try these out for you guys. You guys know I love my long square nails. So I am very quickly dipping the part where it is curved right in my monomer. What this is gonna do is kind of melt the tip a little bit to help adhere to your natural nail. If you're struggling with your tips adhering to natural nails, whether it's on yourself or your client, do this trick and it's gonna help tremendously. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add my brush on glue and then firmly press it into my nail. Now, I like to be completely honest with you guys whenever I'm trying out any type of product, whether it's new, no matter whose it is. And I did want to go ahead and quickly mention that these are extremely thick. I don't think I've ever used a tip that was this thick. It's not a bad thing. It's actually honestly a good thing. However, I was caught off guard by it. It is a nice deep C curve. The shape is perfect. They just are thick. So if you don't like super thick tips, these aren't going to be good for you, but I like them. So definitely take that with a grain of salt. So I'm just going in, taking my tip cutters and just very lightly trimming these nails. You guys know I like my really long nails. Now very quickly with my hand file, I'm just going to make sure that those tips are nice and flush to the side walls of my natural nail. They are pretty good when it came to the sizing. I'm just kind of slimming them just a little bit. I typically like to do this with square tips anyways, because once you go in with the acrylic, they're going to thicken them up just a little bit. So I want to make sure that they are a little bit on the slimmer side.
Destiny has my name, no it's coming, it'll never go. I know that we all gonna be alright. We gon' make it through if it takes us all night. No matter what the odds may bring our way, I can see the blessings coming our way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Blessings on blessings, yeah. I can see the blessings coming our way. Our way, our way. Blessings on blessings, yeah. I can see the blessings coming our way. I can't say that life's been perfect or complain, cause life's been worth it. And all because of who he is working, only working out for my God. And no more living in that fear, no more tears and no. Oh, he's working me and molding me, who he wants me to be.
Now because these tips are on the thicker side, I'm going to go ahead and take my e-file and blend in that tip to my natural nail. And to do that, I'm actually using my 5-in-1 bit. I figured because they are super thick, I would use something that's a little bit more on the coarse side. So just make sure you are extra careful if you are using this type of bit as well. Again, I'm going to be stabilizing my hand on something just so that I have better control of all of my tools.
I can see the blessings, I can feel your presence, leaning on the change in my heart for your endeavors. I pray I'm your reflection, I fiend for your correction. The cross brought the connection, and through Jesus is perfection. Life done hit me crazy, been more stressed than ever. Living like whatever, through the rain I feel you drawing closer. Lord, make me better, take me, shape me, use me, I am yours. Take me, break me for the glory of the Lord. Okay, not only does he hold me when I'm down and feel I'm folding, he my coach when I'm the goalie, never lonely, got that hope in he who holy.
I'm taking the Kiara Sky Lint Free wipes and a little bit of Young Nail Swipe and very quickly cleaning the surface of my natural nail. This is going to help remove any excess oils that our body creates. Now I'm taking the Triple X Bond from Not Polish. It is my go-to primer. And I'm just scrubbing that very carefully just on my natural nail area.
No matter what the odds may bring our way, I can see the blessings coming our way, yeah. Blessings on blessings, yeah. I can see the blessings coming our way, our way, our way. Blessings on blessings.
Now, I don't know if you guys can tell, but this color has quickly become my favorite. It is called Silk Scarf from Not Polish. And I'm going to be doing a slanted type of design. Since these are New Year nails, I wanted to do something completely out of my comfort zone. So we're going to be taking this really pretty nude color, and I'm going to be placing that on my natural nail, blending it downwards. And then I'm honestly not doing a harsh cut. I'm basically just leaving it empty on the side where I'm going to be adding black. So I'm just kind of angling that powder slightly to the left side of my nail, and I'm just taking my brush and kind of cleaning it up very, very lightly. Again, not trying to be perfect with this, otherwise I would put a lot more effort into it. But since we are going to be covering that lineup with some foil, it is not necessary to be super perfect with it. So I'm just kind of wiping it off so that I can apply the black onto that area. Now, a quick little tip when it comes to doing my nails with my non-dominant hand: to pick up my beads, I still struggle to do so with my left hand. So instead of struggling, I like to just use my right hand, pick up my beads, switch my brush onto my left hand, and then go ahead and start applying it. Always remember to be very, very careful around that cuticle area because of the way that I position my hand to record on this hand. It's really, really hard for me to not get it on the cuticle area, but somehow I still try to minimize that. Now we're taking black acrylic from Not Polish, and I'm going to be infilling that clear portion of the nail. Again, not doing it super perfect as we're going to be covering that line with some foils. I'm going to be taking some gold foil and just placing that all along the line portion. And I'm just grabbing the foil with a little bit of monomer on my brush. It's basically what is left over, and then I'm just going to be placing them on there in no specific manner, just basically following that line, and I'm kind of breaking up the little pieces of foil as I go. I'm too selfish for that. I let you fall again. Now that you know that I'm no good at being good, but I never said I was. And I feel misunderstood, 'cause I'm trying hard to love. Now I am adding some little stars as well. These are gold also, and I'm just kind of randomly placing them on there to give a little bit of extra sparkle. And then of course, if I need a little bit of clear acrylic, I go ahead and place that on first, and then I go in with the star or chunky glitter of your choice and place it over that so that it adheres nicely. For the middle finger, I'm going to be using some gears that I purchased off of Amazon. They are specifically for nail art, I think. And I think they're super, super cute, and I feel like it gives kind of like the clock vibe, which is really related to New Year's. So I figured I would go ahead and do that type of nail for my middle finger. So I'm basically just breaking apart those little gears. Some of them have little portions sticking out, so I want to make sure that I am clipping them off. And honestly, I just took the nippers and pried it off, and it came off super, super easy. Now we're going to be using that same nude color and applying that on a portion of the nail, and I'm basically ombreing it into clear. And then we're going to be layering on those gears. So I'm taking another small bead and infilling that cuticle area very, very carefully. And I love the Not Polish acrylics. I feel like it just makes your life so much easier when it comes to applying acrylics. So if you haven't tried them yet, please do so. You will not be disappointed. I'm taking the clear acrylic and we're going to be placing that where we want our gears to go. And I'm using that as a cushion, but also to adhere the gears. So I'm just honestly just placing them randomly on there, and I'm trying to go diagonally down towards the tip. So I'm basically placing these smaller ones. I want to focus on those because you don't want it to overly stick out and have to encapsulate it a ton, or else your nail's gonna be super, super thick. Once I have placed the desired amount of gears, I'm going to be adding some of that gold foil again, just to kind of accent that around. And I feel like it makes it pop a little bit better. And then I'm adding a little bit of stars as well. Now, whenever I'm doing my own nails, I honestly always wing it. So I kind of have an idea of what I want in my head, but I never know how I'm going to execute it until I just start doing my nails. So I started off with the nude color on this one, and I was actually going to do a full nail of nude. And then it ombre'd very nicely, so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to leave it like that. So that is what I did. Now we're infilling that cuticle area, and then we're going to be encapsulating the rest of the nail and just leaving the nude to clear ombre for this one. Now we're going to go ahead and encapsulate. I'm starting off with my thumb, and I'm just starting off near the middle section of the nail, and then I'm working my way up towards the cuticle area. You want to make sure you fully encapsulate specifically these nails because they have tons of glitter and foil, and of course the one especially with gears. You don't want to leave it like that. Now, just like I tell you guys when working with chunky glitters that you really want to press it in to that chunky glitter, you also want to do that with these gears. I'm taking a really wet bead of clear acrylic, and I'm just firmly pressing that into those gears, making sure that it gets in all those creases and crevices so that you do not get any type of air bubbles under there. And then of course I'm going to go in with the bulk product and add the thickness that I want for the length of nails. Now for a filing process, I like to use mainly my hand file for my non-dominant hand. So I'm taking the Tammy Taylor Peel and Stick file, and I'm going to quickly file the sides, and then we're going to go on top of the surface with that same hand file and make sure we get everything nice and smooth. I honestly personally feel like hand filing really does the job. You get it done very quickly and you get it super smooth. So definitely recommend you guys try out a hand file if you guys do not do so already. Now when it comes to the cuticle area, I do prefer to use my e-file, so I'm just taking it on a speed of about 10,000 RPMs. And I am using my 5-in-1 bit, going very quickly and carefully around that cuticle area to get it nice and flush to the natural nail. As you can see, I'm just going in one motion so that I do not cause the drill to skip at all. Now I'm just taking my hand file once again and squaring off the nails, making them nice and sharp at the tip. I'm taking a lint-free wipe and some young nail swipe, cleaning the surface of my nail. And at this point, I had no idea what I wanted to do still on that ring finger. And I thought about crystals, but I don't have actual gold crystals. So I looked through my decals and I found these gold decals from Profiles Backstage. And I'm just taking some tweezers and we're gonna plop that on the tip of the nail. Like I said, I never know what the heck I'm doing, so I'm just going with it at this point. And then I had the grand idea of what if I add a little bit of extraness to it. So we're gonna go ahead and top coat these nails, and then I'm gonna be showing you guys what I did. So we're gonna be using Gloss It from Not Polish. I am just lathering it on there in a very thin manner. And I'm making sure that it's nice and even. And I'm gonna be going ahead and applying that on the rest of the nails. I know I'm doing glossy. It's freaking weird, but for this set, it just made sense and it makes my heart happy seeing them nice, shiny, and sparkly. Yep, we're bringing out the piercer. So I'm taking my handy dandy little tool that I got off of Amazon, and I'm kind of just eyeballing where I want to pierce my nail. And I'm kind of just guessing, and then I'm starting to do it, and I realized that I was struggling hardcore with doing it with my non-dominant hand. So the hubby came in to save the day, as he usually does. I was kind of telling him that I wasn't sure if I actually wanted to pierce my nail, and he was like, you know what, just do it. And then he saw me struggling, so offered to help me. So there are his hands, and he's just gonna go ahead and twist. You just have to really press it into the nail and twist it, and the quicker and the more pressure you apply, the faster you're gonna get it pierced. There are also options to do it with your e-file. You can just use one of those skinny little bits, but I prefer this method. It's a lot safer, and I feel more confident doing it with this since it doesn't move all over the place. So we're just gonna continue to really press it into the nail and turn it until you feel it poke through. Now I'm taking my little dangly thing. I don't even know what these are called. Little hoops. I'm taking my little hoop and I'm prying it open with some tweezers, And then I'm just gonna very gently put it in the hole, and I'm kind of just twisting it around, and then we're gonna be closing it by just pinching it together with the same tweezers. And I absolutely loved it, so I figured I would go ahead and add a second one. I'm going to be using a bigger hoop for that one, so I'm putting it closer towards the middle of the nail. And again, my hubby is coming through with the hands and helping me. And then I'm going to be just doing the same process, kind of twisting it open and prying it into that little hole. And then you want to squeeze it together to tighten it nicely. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I am absolutely obsessed with this. I feel like we should bring back pierced nails. If you guys agree with me, give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to share it with your friends. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys learned a ton. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.